Hello and welcome. Here is a podcast just for you, where every day I'm teaching you something new about how to be the best version of yourself so you can be an inspiring visionary for everyone else. I'm showing up to guide you through some things that you may have often overlooked, such as how to strengthen your mindset without having to read a book. In a world where everyone's focus is on what everyone else is up to, I'm hoping I can help you slow life down so you can focus on what you can do. The world needs more people to believe in what they see and to have visions beyond diagnoses with a focus on possibility. So, I'm asking that as you listen in, please open up your mind. And together, let's see all the ways we can make better what we find. This is a podcast about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it's also about my experiences with exclusion. And it is my hope that in each episode, you're able to connect with me. And when we leave the conversation, I hope you are forever committed to the cause. See me, not ASD. Let's get started. Hello and welcome. This is episode 10 of See Me, Not ASD, the podcast. I'm your host, Devika Carr. This week, we're talking about my mantra. It always comes with a who, a what, a how, and a why, but it never comes with a where and a when. Monologue question for you is this. Have you ever missed an opportunity because you were too focused on your preconceived ideas about when and where the opportunity that you were looking for would show up? Our segment goal is simple. We're hoping to show you the value of releasing expectations so that you can fully receive what is meant for you. I'm recalling on this book, The Power of Now, some very important concepts I learned in here in order to carry out this episode. I'm thankful to the former friend that gifted it to me. I could not have anticipated when or where I was going to receive this book or how it would come into my life, but I'm certainly glad that it did. So a lot of this book is about the power of now, but how to find and tap into the power based on changing the ideas that you think of when you consider what now really means. And so the most important concept for this episode is the difference between your inner purpose and your outer purpose. And for me, and based on what I learned in this book, your inner purpose is what's in your heart. Essentially, it is the who, the what, the how, and the why. And it's defining each of these in such a way that what's in your heart is ingrained, it is deeply rooted, it is easy for you to conceptualize and come up with creative ideas for. It is something you could recite in your sleep. It's something that you are able to easily communicate to others, and it's something that you are always prepared for. So, for example, the who. You have to know exactly who you want to serve in your life. For some of us, that is our children. For others, it may be your spouse or your significant other or your partner. It could be in a professional setting, your clients. It could be your students if you're a teacher. It could be your patients if you are a doctor. It could be your neighbor if you are a neighbor. It could be your parents if you are caring for them in any capacity. There are so many levels and ways in which we serve others. As long as in our heart we are clearly defining who we seek to serve, then that is something that we always carry with us and we're always clear about. So the first one then is who, defining who you want to serve. Next, defining what you want to provide through your service. So, for example, if you are a doctor, what do you want to provide to your patients? Clearly defining what kind of experience you'd like for them to have, what kind of feelings you're hoping to evoke from them throughout their experience. What would you like for them to be able to recall as a memory of their experience? If you are a mother, what do you want to provide to your children through your service? Do you want to give them security? Do you want to educate them? Do you want to be an example for them of what their possibilities may look like when they are themselves adults? So just clearly defining what you would like to give through your levels of service. Next, defining why you feel compelled to serve these individuals. At no time in our lives are we actually, aside, from the gray area of the law, at no time are we really ever forced in any particular way to serve people. We could choose, if we wanted to serve no one at all, to be entirely selfish in every aspect of our lives and to only serve ourselves. And that's entirely up to you as an individual, but I'm going to guess that if you are listening to this podcast, that person is not you. And if it is you and you're listening to this podcast, then hopefully this episode and many of our other episodes will encourage you to think differently and to change the way that you view yourself as a person in service to others. And so really just understanding why you feel compelled to serve in every role that you have chosen to serve in. I became a mother and I chose to serve my child and now my children. But I need to know why I care to serve them. Is it because I want them to grow up and be respectable individuals and adults? Is it because I want them to grow up feeling loved and respected by me as their mother? Do I do it because I want them to know that they themselves will have the honor and privilege of serving others at some point in their lives, and I want to demonstrate for them what that looks like? And so you could go through every role that you play and really contemplate why you are serving others. And I think that would be a great exercise to do. Also thinking about how you will provide what you can give. And the ways that you define how are really looking at what are your skills? What are the characteristics through which you can provide service to others and in the ways that you imagine? How do you generate knowledge and wisdom? And through your knowledge and wisdom, what aspects are you knowing and are you wise that you want to use to provide what you'd like to give to those you would like to serve? Clearly defining in every role that you exist how your skills and your characteristics and your unique levels of knowledge and wisdom. Clearly defining all of that will really bring together what's in your heart. And this exercise really is meant to, even if you were just to sit down and write, okay, I have the roles that are most important to me, the role as a mother, my role as an attorney, my role as a public speaker, my role as a special education advocate, right? So let's say I just took all of those roles and I listed them and I made a column, and then I started to list who am I serving in each of those roles and why do I wish to serve each of them, and then what do I want to give them through my service? What do I want to leave them with? What kind of experience and memory would I like to provide them with? And then how? through each of those roles can I do it? And this whole process, you may find that you have similar hows and similar whos and similar whys and similar methods and of giving the service. And I think there could be some discussion, right, that through each of these roles where you find the commonalities, perhaps there's a way to serve them in multiple ways at the same time. Or perhaps there are ways to kind of minimize your exertion but maximize the effect, right? Because there's only so much time in a day. And yet that's what brings me to the where and the when. You don't always know when you will come into contact with the types of people that you wish to serve. Perhaps the who that you are looking to serve is children. And you never know when you're going to come into contact with a child who can receive what you have to give. For example, if what's in your heart is to serve underprivileged children, and you are in a grocery store one afternoon and you discover a mother with her child who cannot afford all of the groceries she has put in her cart. Something as simple and vague as that. That might be an opportunity that you could not have contemplated or thought of, but it might be an opportunity for you to give in service to that child and to that mother through the ways that you have developed your kindness, developed your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding that underprivilege exists anywhere and everywhere. But being open to receive that opportunity to inspire that child or influence that child's life in the way in which you hope to serve them, that is the awareness that we need more of. We need people to open up their ideas and their thoughts about when they will find these opportunities and where they'll be when they happen. You won't always know where you'll have opportunities to serve. It could show up at any time. I could be walking around our block and discover, a parent with their child who is having a meltdown, and I could stop and have a conversation and discover that the child has an intellectual disability diagnosis that impacts their ability to stay focused or social or on task, or to unfortunately causes them to have tantrums at unreasonable moments or seemingly unreasonable times of the day or in certain spaces. And that could be an opportunity for me to help serve that child and that parent in that moment. So, but if I restrict myself and I set an expectation that the only place and the only place and the only time that I'm going to be able to serve the individuals that I seek to serve in the ways that I seek to serve them, if I restrict my expectations to only those events and times that I create, that I schedule on my calendar, or that I create an event for, then I will miss a whole lot of opportunities to inspire, to create impact, and to really fulfill the purpose that's in my heart, my inner purpose. And so the when and the where are just variables that you can schedule, you can advertise, you can invite people to show up for. But if you're always setting expectations about when and where, then you will inadvertently even miss significant opportunities to serve those that you wish to serve. And so really what I'm asking is for you to be open-minded, but to also be aware of the excitement that comes with not knowing when you step out of your house, when you might have an opportunity to make an impact and to fulfill the purpose of your heart and to really carry out your vision as you see that it fits for your life. So I'm asking you really to just be and enjoy being. And doing this doesn't mean that you can't set goals, that you can't set goals for your outer purpose, right? So for me, my understanding is that the when and the where is the outer purpose. It is the way in which you carry out the inner purpose of your heart. The now, every moment that you're in of the now, that is your outer purpose. That is your when and your where. So now equals when and where. While your inner purpose is the ultimate goal, right? You want to go to sleep at night knowing that you served the people you wanted to serve, that you used your skills and your characteristics and your knowledge and your wisdom to serve them, that you were able to provide them exactly what you were hoping that they would receive through your service, and that you did it because of the reasons that you always wanted to do it for, right? It's great to go to sleep at night knowing that you have ultimately fulfilled your inner purpose, no matter where it happened or when it happened. However, paying more attention to the now means that you are paying more attention to the opportunities to fulfill your inner purpose by releasing expectations about when and where the outer purpose will be fulfilled. This makes it possible for you to deliver and serve at any time, anywhere. And so really, when you are certain that your inner purpose is clear, it's concrete, you are absolutely clearly defined in your mind and in your heart as to who you want to serve and what you would like to give them and why you're doing it and how you plan to do it, then anytime, anywhere, you're ready. You're always ready to serve. You're always ready to give. You're always ready to fulfill the purpose of your heart. And by doing so, you're living in the now, but you're also giving to others in the ways in which your outer purpose is fulfilled. So clearly defined guiding principles, the who, the what, the how, and the why, are what leads to a clear vision. And, in 2020, everyone's talking about having a clear vision, and this is one way to do it, to clearly define the inner purpose, the desires of your heart, and then to be faithful in the now to your vision, to be patient in the now with your vision, and then to notice the clues around you as you exist in every space in the now, to really tap into the when and where. I think it's really exciting to think about how cool this process is when you really tap into it and do it and receive it for what it is. So I encourage you to listen to this episode 1, 2, 3, 4 times, however many times. Take notes. The notes are always up for you on the website. But really to define for yourself all the roles that you play, that you're choosing to play and be a part of, and then defining for yourself who you wish to serve in those roles and why you're doing it and what you would like for them to receive and how you plan to give it to them so that they do receive it. And then be open-minded, live in the now so that you can receive the when and the where. And always be ready. Always be ready to serve with your whole heart, your whole entire inner purpose, so that you can fulfill your outer purpose too. So the call to action this week is for you to consider where you are now. Where are you in your space? Where are you currently sitting? Where are you thinking? Where are you at in your life? And think about, who do you wish to serve? What role are you currently fulfilling that you're choosing to fulfill? And who do you want to serve in that role? What do you have to give in service to that person, those people? Why do you want to give and serve to them? How can you facilitate your service and giving based on your skills, your knowledge, your wisdom, your character? And then now live without expectations about when and where. Just be ready to serve at all times, wherever you are, whenever you get an opportunity. Just do it. The creative connection is this: gratitude for the present moment and the fullness of life now is true prosperity. Then, in time, that prosperity manifests for you in various ways. And the mantra this week is a mixed adaptation from a quote by author David Epstein, who I will talk about in a few episodes from today, and Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes. I am willing to learn and adjust as I go. I am willing to change directions entirely as the need arises. Nothing I experience is wasted, even when I move on, because all of life is an experiment, and I shall be of service everywhere, anytime. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 10. All the best until next time.